A Washington University study reveals that nasal COVID-19 vaccines could prevent virus transmission, a significant advantage over traditional injectable vaccines. This finding could be crucial in addressing future respiratory pandemics. Research on hamsters suggests that vaccines aimed at the nose and mouth could be crucial in curbing the transmission of respiratory infections. The rapid development of COVID-19 vaccines within months of the virus's emergence was a remarkable achievement of modern science, saving millions of lives. But for all the good they did in reducing illnesses and deaths, the shots were unable to end the pandemic because of one notable weakness: they couldn't stop the spread of the virus. A new study by researchers at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis indicates that next-generation vaccines that target the virus's points of entry, the nose and mouth, may be able to do what traditional shots cannot: contain the spread of respiratory infections and prevent transmission. Using a nasal COVID-19 vaccine based on Washington University technology, approved for use in India and licensed to Ocugen for further development in the US, the researchers showed that vaccinated hamsters that developed infections did not pass the virus on to others, breaking the cycle of transmission. In contrast, an approved COVID-19 vaccine that is injected failed to prevent the spread of the virus. The findings, published in Science Advances, provide further evidence that so-called mucosal vaccines sprayed into the nose or dropped into the mouth may be the key to controlling respiratory infections such as influenza and COVID-19 that continue to circulate and cause significant illness and death. To prevent transmission, you need to keep the amount of virus in the upper airways low. The less virus that is there to begin with, the less likely you are to infect someone else if you cough or sneeze or even just breathe on them. This study shows that mucosal vaccines are superior to injected vaccines in terms of limiting viral replication in the upper airways and preventing the spread to the next individual. In an epidemic or pandemic situation, this is the kind of vaccine you're going to want. Developing vaccines that can control virus levels in the nose has proven challenging. Viruses such as influenza virus, SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, and respiratory syncytial virus RSV multiplied rapidly in the nose and spread from person to person within a few days of initial exposure. Traditional injectable vaccines generate immune responses that can take a week to build to full strength and are much less potent in the nose than in the bloodstream, leaving the nose relatively unprotected against a fast-multiplying, fast-spreading virus. In principle, a vaccine sprayed or dropped directly into the nose or mouth could limit viral reproduction and thereby reduce transmission by eliciting an immune response right where it's needed most. But gathering evidence that mucosal vaccines actually do reduce transmission has proven tricky. Animal models of transmission are not well established, and tracking person-to-person transmission is fiendishly complicated, given the number and variety of encounters a typical person has on any given day. For this study, researchers developed and validated a model for community transmission using hamsters and then used it to assess the effect of mucosal vaccination on the spread of SARS-CoV-2. Unlike mice, hamsters are naturally susceptible to infection with SARS-CoV-2, making them the ideal laboratory animals for a transmission study. This study could be important as the world prepares for the possibility that avian influenza, currently causing an outbreak in dairy cows, might adapt to humans and trigger a flu epidemic. An injectable vaccine for avian influenza already exists, and a team of researchers at Washington University is working toward a nasal vaccine for avian influenza. Mucosal vaccines are the future of vaccines for respiratory infections. Historically, developing such vaccines has been challenging. There's still so much we don't know about the kind of immune response we need and how to elicit it. We're going to see a lot of very exciting research in the next few years that could lead to big improvements in vaccines for respiratory infections. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed our videos, subscribe to our channel for there's more to come.